an epidemic. All right, right now. And it's also not peculiar to Nigeria. And I've said so many times, just because I need to also emphasize that point, because I believe that maybe, I may be wrong, I won't be telling you, but it looks like you have wider listenership. But I have said this many times in your stations, your sister stations, that the problem in Nigeria today, the economic downturn, seemingly, is just not typical of an ideological somersault initiated by the president. It is also not the making of Mr. President, as it were. These things are spillovers. Are we not aware that before the president came, Nigeria was almost betrothed to China? We were owing hugely. And what is that debt profile today with Tinubu? They are sorting them out. They are paying. So that we will not be slaves even in our own town. Now, what is the somersault here? The somersault now people are talking about, because when it was done, when it was hailed, the somersault seemingly is the fact that the president had the will on the day he assumed office, as soon as he took the rostrum and made those extempore beautiful speeches. He also alluded to the fact that he had found out that the one of the problems of Nigeria, one of our albatross, is the fact that what they call fuel subsidy. And that this fuel subsidy does not serve the purpose of Nigeria.
Well, that's what people point to. He said the comment for subsidy removal that he made, just even before he got into the office, it was in his inaugural speech.
Yes.
And they say it felt as though proper planning wasn't put in place first before making that announcement.
I'll get there. I'll get there. Now, he said this is gone. And if you listen to that, the man talking, you will see what they call the mainstream. Okay? You will see the intention of a leader. Because the thing is anti-people. It is a policy that benefited just a few bourgeoisies in the society. People were looting money in excess in guise of fuel subsidy. If the president wanted to be corrupt, or if the president wanted to say, okay, let me be back, it's okay, gentlemen, you carry on with what you're getting. Now he negotiates his own percentage.
But he protested against this, if you remember, under the Goodluck administration, when subsidy was to be removed by that administration. I mean, this current president was one of the people who led the Occupy Nigeria protest and the rest that we had in Lagos, in Abuja, and all of that. So you would pardon Rivers people and Nigerians if they find it confusing on what to understand.
Ideas are a mass in history. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Now, when you see certain situations, the only thing that is permanent in life is common knowledge, is change. Everything else is in constant flux. Everything else fleets. Change is the only thing that is permanent. Assuming, I don't have what you are saying now, I don't have I can't put a finger to it. Okay? But assuming that it happened, and after many years, the same person who protested against the removal of fuel subsidy has seen that he was wrong. So she did remain fixated to that principle. He would depart from it.
Okay.
And the president didn't come. He prepared though. He's a man who said, look, at the point people criticize him when he said it is my turn. He's not the one of the presidents that they say, oh, they went and picked up from farm or say, look, come and become. No. He had both innate ideas to govern Nigeria and how Nigeria will be better.
All right.
Now, what has happened at the removal of the fuel subsidy? What has happened? I read the governor, I think the Kaduna state governor the other day was saying, look, that before this fuel subsidy thing was removed, that they were paying salaries from monies they borrow. Now, the monies that accrue to the center now, arising from the removal of this fuel subsidy, is used not for any purpose. They are not diverting it anywhere. It's used to pump into the system again. And I said to you, my friend yesterday on set, I said I was chief of staff. I was a member of SEC, State Executive Council. I was. And in all my stay from 2012 to 2015, River State government never had anything more than 6.8 billion in a month. But states are cutting away 20-something, 30-something billion today, courtesy of the subsidy removal. Now, when those monies are...
So you're saying just in the past couple of months is when they are cutting away this amount of monies?
Yes, as soon as... But I just told you that, say, a governor, I'm not a governor just said on set that before the subsidy was removed, that they were borrowing money to pay salaries. But immediately it was removed, and this money is plowed to them, to the system, the state and the local government, that they pay and have excess.
All right. Chief,
for am I the one saying that?
Interestingly, there's still plenty to talk about, so we do not dwell on just one issue.
Okay,
now that you addressed that,
that's not what I came for.
There are many other issues to look at. So let's get on to your the most recent that came on the news, your visit to Ogoni. And I'm bringing this up because the political situation in Rivers State has brought about various conversations. There was also comments that you made with the women that went on the protest.
Oh, great.
That caused a lot of people to respond. We're still going to get to that. It's all the political situation. But first, you were in Ogoni, and it was to flag off the NDDC solar electrification project at the Kensariwa Memorial Park in Bane Community, Kana local government area. But that's not the only thing. It's what came after, where the PDP in Rivers State had criticized you for inaugurating the installation of the solar lights, and it was the publicity secretary of the PDP who had said the expectation would have been for you to advocate for the return of seized Kensariwa Memorial Art Bus and to declare him innocent of the allegations. Some would say that what he says he's expecting is not also out of place. But what is the response to it? Why should one overtake the other?
I really don't know how to patronize mediocrity and mediocres. I do not know how to do that effectively. Because when you patronize them, okay, you try to give credence to some kind of stupidity that they spew. I'm making a general statement. I'm not particularizing. Just understand.
Okay, because I wanted to just I want to be sure.
I'm making a general statement. It's a statement of fact. I'm not particularizing. But on this particular issue, I don't understand what people seem to be thinking, not from their heart, but from their head. It's laughable. Now, what is the relationship between PDP and NDDC? The project I went to flag off wasn't as APC chairman. NDDC is a corporate entity, not a political one. It's not a political party. And I was very sure, I was careful, and I announced at the Palace of His Royal Majesty, our very first port of call, that I came here not as party, that at the fullness of time, when it is time for campaign, I will come back here and talk about APC and why people should vote for APC. But I am here on purely NDDC matter. On that trip, I don't know if you have read, what the national chairman, the Kagote Worldwide, okay, the president. Kagote is the apex body of organizations in Ogoni land. Okay, because it encompasses the entire Ogoni. Mosop seemed to be an arm of Kagote. He was there. Right Honorable Emmanuel Diye was there. The LGA chairman of the Kana local government, Dr. Barriere, was there. The former deputy speaker was even the compere in that event. The former deputy speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. Who do I know? Of course, you know one international. I call him international comrade because he's the replica of Ken Saro-Wiwa. He's everywhere in the world, also still agitating for environmental rights. Comrade Celestina Bobari and plenty other people. The former, the founding women leader of Mosop was there, Mrs. Nabo Caroline. So I was wondering what was it that the PDP
spokesperson.
I don't want to use the word. I don't want to use
It's the publicity secretary of the PDP.
Okay. I don't know. I don't understand. So, what is the relationship between NDDC and PDP?
Perhaps Perhaps he felt.
Can I finish?
Okay, but just to add, is it out of place for him to also?
He does. How does what the action and activity of NDDC overreach the PDP? Other than senselessness.
But what he said did not directly point at the PDP.
What did he say?
I think, but he was saying,
if I were him, I would even remove my official designation if he was to talk as an Ogoni man. But by the time you put the spokesperson of PDP, it often means that he's speaking for PDP. I mean, simple.
All right, but then the expectation that he has made known, is it something that is out of place or something that is also doable?
Andy, should we, if you want me to go into the history or the historical perspective on this matter, I will. And I think you should just oblige me a few minutes to do that. I did that.
We might not have all the time, but
I did that yesterday. No, the point I'm making is that that man, or that young man, ill-prepared as it were, should have known that Ken Saro-Wiwa is an institution. Somebody who was an environmental activist, minority rights agitator, somebody whose sweat was part of the creation of NDDC, and particularly high prep, somebody who is venerated in the whole world international community, and somebody who is my mentor, who was my mentor, who I followed his trial consistently and religiously all the period he was being tried by the jackboot of the military. And I have opportunity to say, my master, for whatever it is worth, I said in my whole life I had dreamt that I would even endow a packet of chalk in memorial for Ken Saro-Wiwa, and the opportunity came. They should be ashamed that in all of this they mount the fact that Ken Saro-Wiwa is their hero.
All right, Chief.
And nothing to show.
Chief, just hold that
and
thought.
We have gone to
let's take a short commercial. We'll continue when we return from here.
The show continues after
on the NDDC board, is with me in the studio. He's also the caretaker chairman of the APC in Rivers State. And there's quite a lot to talk about. We'll try to manage the time. I was just telling him now while the commercials were on, like, Chief, please, let's try and just keep it precise so we can touch on many issues as possible. Politically in Rivers State, there's a lot. And also plans, how the NDDC intend to work with the state government. Do we have any of such plans, especially in the areas of agriculture, when you look at the food situation in Rivers State? We'll come to that. But, Chief, so you were trying to make a point with regards to the events that just held in Kana.
Yeah.
And is it safe to say that your point has been passed? You are saying that, okay, I mean, for some people, the expectation that was cited by Mr. Sidney Gbara, is it something that is out of place? Because he did not condemn what you did, by the way. He's saying, okay, yes, but I would have expected that this one, for many people, is a call that some people in some corners have also had.
No, you
over time.
didn't read him. He said, my mission there, I don't know how he couched it, was to awaken the spirit of the dead. I don't know whether you read it well. So that you know that ab initio is a condemnation okay, of what we did. Now, if we have reasonably, okay, awoken the conversation on this Ken again, I said this event was streamed live by Ogoni TV, Ogoni Television. It was streamed live by Capital Television. I didn't know that the Ogoni Television, is so expansive that even the Ogonis in diaspora, okay, they are the ones they listen, and they have been calling and raining encomiums and accolades on us for doing that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And just that individual, because I'm sure that he couldn't have spoken the minds of the real Ogoni people. Just that individual, because of politics, because he thinks I'm leader of APC, and then what we have done may be overreaching to them because they couldn't do. They didn't. They don't have the foresight. Now, if we have awoken a conversation on Ken again that was almost, that has almost atrophied, shouldn't he now take off from there and say, okay, our own problem, our own matter now, so that he also shines? Is the boss that was seized by a federal government, or he wants to immortalize Ken in a different? We have not even started. I said there's a 5-kilometer road. It's terrible, man. You need to go to that park,
the Memorial Park.
Yeah, you need to go there. It's a beautiful sight to behold. You see the lush environment, the green environment, very serene. You don't need an air conditioner there. Around the neighborhood there is a river that gives you natural air. I'm still going back there. The only problem I have there is that they don't have something like, where after you stay around and you just go into a room and sleep and all that. Okay? And God will help them. At the fullness of time too, maybe that will be there. Now, but the place you can't even access. The road is terrible. I rode through the road 5 kilometers and I was sent people to go there and scoop the road. They have done so. A contractor has already been nominated. But the problem was that the contractor got back to say, look, what you are giving us for the job, we cannot cope anymore because of the hike in
price.
So we are retrieving that. And the team, of course, you know that we have also some bureaucracy that we passed. Yeah. They are working on it. The moment we are done and the road is out, as I will consult with both my board, my management, and all reasonable and rational people of Ogoni land. As soon as that road is done, we will name it Ken Sarawiwa Road.
Right, now that you brought this up, something that the NDDC is doing, I think you should take us to something I was also asking you, and I intend for you to perhaps give us an idea on any collaborations between the NDDC and the state government, especially in the area of agriculture. Great. I mean, we're hearing reports of work being done at the Songhai farm. We're hearing reports of the commissioner, in fact, visited the cassava plant just, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. We know that the NDDC have had certain programs in the past. Life ND was one of them. That's Life Improvement Family Enterprise for Niger Delta. At the time, Commissioner was Fred Backle, the Commissioner for Agric, and there were talks of even giving the NDDC land. This was in 2020, giving the NDDC land for rice farming. the Rivers State government was to donate that land. They also had the International Fund for Agric Development. In 2020, there were talks of even about 10 billion naira Agric program by the NDDC. Now, all of these programs, I don't know if they're still on or what could have happened. But what plans? Because now the price of food in Rivers State is one that is shocking to people. One very, very shocking one is the price of gari when we have cassava in excess. So, are there plans or any talks about collaborations between the NDDC and Rivers State in these areas?
Yes, Andrew, thank you. You see, the problem we have is that the present government in Rivers State, there are adjectives I like to use. Clueless, rudderless, directionless.
Why do you say that?
Yes, I have. I've said so with all amount of seriousness.
Yes, many people would disagree. People would say it doesn't.
But I will give the premises.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'll give you okay, let me also announce. Luckily, I am the chairman of NDDC Committee on Public-Private Partnership. In other words, it is my duty to work in liaison with state governments, international organizations, and private people to see how much development we can bring to the 9 states that make up the NDDC. It is I'm the chairman of the committee. Okay? Now, how do you collaborate with somebody who is not interested in your collaboration?
Has there been efforts to reach?
Please, I'm coming. I don't want to be a bit dissimilar. My people say, you know how the physics will smell. Okay? Just by when the person farts. The smell of that tells you how when the other thing comes out. We had an invite, an SOS from a community called School, crying, huge, that is white cries and hues, inviting us that they are dying, that they have cholera, they called it, written in black and white. And the first thing I did, that letter was written to NDDC through me, my office. I'm the state rep. So I called the people who wrote the letter, the people who signed the letter. I said, why don't you take this to state government? They said, no, sir. That it will take not less than 6 months for fire to move from one table to the other. And that before then, the people would have died. And I thought it was a child's play. I said, okay, fine. I did a memo, presented a memo before my board. Okay? And the board, moved by pity, graciously approved for immediate medical intervention. While we were even trying to see whether we can dot the I's and cross the T's, the calls continued. And I was touched when they told me that people were dying in droves. And that if we don't come, that the casualty there, that we are going to be harvesting a deluge of deaths in the place. And we went in immediately. That's what the situation. Sunday we had gone in, news broke that NDDC had moved personnel. On Monday morning, the commissioner for health, because of what you would call the bad belly, went on air to say that there was no such thing going on. In fact, he helped me. Because I haven't been to Soku in my whole
Because
life.
it makes a lot of sense. We could reach out to the traditional institution in that community
Great.
and find out the facts. So if you would help us with those contacts,
I will give you even the clips from NTA, RSTV, not RSTV now, channels, AIT, Niger Delta Today. I'll be Niger Delta something on this anchored by my friend Akuga. I'll send to you now here. You will see the people talking. That's the reason why I went there.
So
I had
you're
to go.
So you're saying the collaboration
Andy, just a minute.
because of the time.
Now, how possibly can you collaborate with somebody who is not interested? Who does not it's not even interest. Who does not even know what you're talking about? But I'm not going to preclude it. We'll still make attempts. You're aware that the NDDC has a very expansive rice plantation in Elele. Very expansive.
And what's happening there now?
His work is on. Now, what you should be asking is that you're talking about they are working on some. Which people will eat the food now? When they have all died, before the some guy farm will be ready. When our people have all died. People are looking for measures.
So, are there any short-term measures on the side of the NDDC that perhaps you have proposed or that you have in mind to carry out for Rivers people?
Have I not told you that?
In the aspect of agriculture and food production?
Yes.
What are those?
For crying out loud, I just told you one that as we speak, how many days back, my executive director project visited with the venue, the site where we have rice plant. And in a couple of days or weeks, you will see what will come out of it. So, right? Now, just wait. You talked about what Fred Packard did in 2020.
Yes.
That's 4 years back. Okay? Now, I have told you too that I'm chairman of PPP. We are going to assume all those documents. My worry is that because of the cluelessness of the people who are at the center stage, who occupy the epicenter of governance in Rivers State today, I fear if it will.
But Chief, don't you think cluelessness would be a very strong choice of word? Especially,
it is my word.
If you look at
it, is my word, and I own up to it. And I told you that I have my premises that are leading to my conclusion. Andy, in Nigeria today, we talk about economic miasma, that there's hunger and all that. What are the measures taken by Rivers State government to assuage the sufferings of Rivers people? I'm going to give you instances. Look at Lagos. The governor faced the press for 3 hours and was, unearthing.
You had
shunning out.
You had called on the government to be accountable. And I think for a sum of over 144 billion
They
naira.
will never be. They will never be.
So,
we need to see these things.
Beyond that, there's also been the reports of the protest that the women held. And there's a response to that protest because a cross-section of the women leaders in state criticized your comment against that peace walk as well.
Who did
that was staged by women in Port Harcourt?
People who were given money to mobilize the women. And unfortunately, their mothers were not there. Their sisters were not there. Their immediate relatives were not there. You went and mobilized hungry women, and you decided to cloud them half nude, to show them off in the television, and to show that Rivers people are morally decadent.
When you say who, because for many people who support the government and PDP supporters, they see this support as that's been held are all organic. It did not sponsor anybody or pay anybody for any of
most laughable, please. Most laughable. You know the difference between them and the people they lie to and me is the fact that I have been at the center of all of this hitherto. I said 2012 and 2015. I was chief of staff. Okay, and it was the hottest part of my former boss's administration because we came face to face with heavy antagonism from the center. And of course, Andy, I was instrumental, highly instrumental. The governor will not take that away from me. Nobody in this state will. In his making, I convoked the first youth summit in Rivers State, where we churned out a communique. Thereafter, we followed up with that communique to adopt him in the midst of all us. And he knows that I'm an event person. To get a line and rail stage with a good public address send-out is nothing less than 15 million. I'm talking about just to hire the stage. Please, what of those caps customized? What of those t-shirts customized? So the organic supporters are the ones making the cards for themselves. The organic supporters were the ones who brought buses.
So are you implying that they
are squandering over 150 million naira at every twist and turn?
How did you get the facts? Do you have the facts to back this?
I have. Am I not enumerating them?
No,
I said that's what they call
this amount of money is where this
kids. One of my friends will say, "Are we a small children?" And I'm telling you that from practical effect, from the practicality of it, that I have been at the center of organization of it. I was chief of staff, and in my time we formed what we call Save Rivers movement.
So what this sort of money is going around in your time to organize this sort of Thanksgivings and gatherings?
We didn't do
rallies.
Thanksgiving. We didn't. What is the governor thanking? What is
But the governor isn't the person who is
What is the
thanking.
jamboree about? I said, what was his problem? Was there anybody after his job? The same man who hired the lawyers who started this case from tribunal. They were the same lawyers from tribunal to the Supreme Court. If Wike was against or after Sim's job, or any one of us was, maybe the first thing he would have done would have been to pull out the lawyers.
But how would you explain the attacks?
Or allow the lawyers to, or even go to.
We have to go to the lines, but before we
and
take,
then ask them to spoil the case.
So, Chief, how would you then explain the attacks on those people who organize Thanksgiving rallies at various local governments to appreciate, according to them, the fact that the governor won at the Supreme Court and they're happy about it? It's the reason why they're having these rallies. Now, we've gotten reports of attacks in Eche, in parts of Aoda. I mean, so how do you now explain those attacks?
I can say to you here that I'm a humanist. And anything attack on human and material is condemnable. And I condemn in absolute terms. So let's forget about.
So,
but listen, sir. Listen. When you go to ignite a bomb, okay, it will get to a point where it will explode. That's why I'm saying that this state called River State sits on a keg of gunpowder. What is this whole jamboree about? Now, my information is that what happened in Eche was that the people who were in there to jamboree started having their own internal crisis, and that the people now saw, oh, this crisis may lead to something else. Can you leave our place? That's what the information I had. I'm also told that in Omuma, how many days ago, I think on Sunday, the local government chairman was manhandled by thugs. Is that the way to go? And whilst they were doing that, another group was somewhere chanting, oh, Wike.
But doesn't this explain?
Is anybody in controversy with the governor?
All right,
please.
Let's.
And with the thanksgiving that he does now take the place of churning out economic policies that will aid Rivers people to. You talked about Gary and the cost of Gary in River State. What is the role, or what is the government doing?
But then
what is the immediate response to it?
Isn't that what
you're talking about is a distant response? How many months will it take for the Songhai farm to be used? We're talking about what is the immediate.
But there's the cassava plant and the commissioner has visited.
You got to build a road for a people who are dying. Who will use the road?
But wasn't this the same complaints people had under the past administration to say, oh, we are building flyovers and people are hungry? Or the same comments were made similarly.
That what?
That, oh, we're building roads.
Can we remember the governor for something? The former governor, our former administration, is remembered for something. Build flyovers, which of course gave him sobriquets, which of course gave him award by Mr. President.
All right, Chief, we have
Can
to
we
take
remember
calls,
the governor, this one now, for something? Because that's what government
he's just a couple of months in,
no government.
But he recently...
There's no government that is expected to do
recently,
everything.
500 workers were employed into the Ministry of Health at the River State Teaching Hospital. And we've also had some roads that are also being constructed and commissioned. We've also seen work ongoing at the Songhai farm. We also saw the civil service promotion that happened. We also saw the Christmas bonuses, which many said had not happened in quite a while. Well, let's take some calls. Let's take some calls because we're already running out of time. 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0002, or 0817-923-0007. Please, the moment you get access to us, just go straight to your question or contribution, and we are good. We've been hearing the response of my guests to the protest by the women for peace at the time. We've also heard the response to plans of the NDDC to support in the agricultural sector of the state. We've also heard his response to the political situation in River State at the moment. Are you confident in the political peace in River State at the moment? You would respond, but not yet. Let's take a few calls. Mufasa, straight to the point, please. It's calling from NTA Road. You might need to use your headphone.
Oh, great.
Hello, Mufasa. Good morning.
Yeah, I want to believe that the NDDC is an agency that is owned by every individual in the Niger Delta. And as a rep of the NDDC, I want to believe that you understand the position of a governor of a state and the relationship that the agency should enjoy between the governor and the running of the agency. Now, for you to begin to call the governor of the state clueless, don't you think it's going to upset the relationship of the agency and the governor and the government of River State? That is one question. Then secondly, the march organized by those women, we have members of all walks of life, even members of the APC were part of the people that marched on that fateful day for peace. We have members from Ratao, we have members from civil society who are not hungry, but they are for peace. So don't you think the statement is just made now referring to those people are hungry were just impulsive insinuations
All right, Mufasa. Thank you.
We're not there at that rally. Why do you think they were hungry?
All right, let's go to JJ quickly. JJ, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Welcome.
And I greet the chief in the studio.
Thank you.
Sir, please, the whole world depends on you right now, especially those that are listening. Can you please tell them how much the NDDC spent on the, well, what will I call it now, the medical or the rescue at the Soko area? Can you tell them? Because you said the governor is not accountable, that the NDDC is more accountable, so please, it's over to you. That is one. You talked about the president having plans, but the man who has plans remove subsidy without any plan. Don't also forget that the president was there before he was sworn in, and our former governor said, look, the project we have done on Federal Road, please refund. His response was that he has not entered office, but he has not also entered office, he removed subsidy. Now, conclusively, the governor you call clueless is the one that promotes workers that has not been promoted for over 15 years, including the time you said you were to hire line and all those. The same governor is building 20,000 housing units. The Songhai farm, promote health workers and employing more. Then, conclusively, you talked about the governor building road when people are hungry. And you are about to build 9-kilometer road in Kensawa village. I don't know if people there are so benefit right now.
Let's go to God's Power in Abua. God's Power, quickly, straight to your question, the contribution.
Good morning, Mr. Presenter. Good morning, our guest on radio. I just want to thank Chiptoni for what he's doing. I wonder how somebody that brings light to a community will be seen in bad light. So I wonder what the person who is criticizing going to go is saying on in the public space. I also want to thank him for intervention in other communities like Soku and what he's doing on the issue about the policy made for the governor. It is clear that other states they are trying to see how to tackle the hunger in the land. And what Chief Okocha is telling the government is that they should look inward and see how to take River State out of the hunger, of the poverty we have in our state. It is not personal that is attacking him, but telling the government to wake up. So we want to appeal to the governor of River State to look inward and see what's happening in other states and see how to tackle the hunger. I want to thank Chief for what he's doing, to stand very strong, to criticize constructively, to bring River State out of the situation we find ourselves. So
all right, God's Power from Abua. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Presenter.
All right, we don't have all the time. So, Chief, we'll quickly get to you to respond to those. It's never enough, and there's still a lot to talk about. But on WhatsApp, this one says, I want to remind the governor 10,000 civil servant employment you approved in September is yet completed. Ken from Iba, that's a message from you. On Facebook, there's quite a few as well. This one says the state government should address the hunger in the land, not the NDDC. This one says, my question to your guest is, why is he against the governor appointing caretaker chairman in River State? Why is he occupying the position of caretaker chairman of the APC in the state? I mean, it's a lot and a lot, but then let's get your response quickly because we have a commercial in less than 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I thank the people who weighed in. At least they were mature in mind and all that, so I can answer. I said to my friend yesterday that I won't talk to adult baby flies. But today, I think I've seen people who are responsible who have asked questions. Now, JJ seeks to know how much NDDC spent in Soku. Oh, don't worry, you will get it out. You get the amount that NDDC spent at Soku. What is important is at least you have acknowledged the fact that we intervened and we have saved lives in Soku. So you will get the amount spent by NDDC. Removal of subsidy without plan. I'm shocked. I don't know whether people understand. You know. That's why I like intellectualism a whole lot. There are three triadic relationships. A problem will be felt, the problem will be identified, and the solution. Fine. So if you follow this triadic relationship, you find that the president was very much on spot, on point. Okay. Now we are feeling it. What is the solution? The solution is that monies are pumped into the system, and that the governors are expected, and the local government chairmen are expected to deploy those funds for the betterment. There is no center without the states. All right. Now, promotion of workers. Oh, this is horrible. How the workers you promote, from where will their money come from? Is it not the fact that you collect every month?
All right, let's take commercials.
So assuming
I beg, give me 200 naira 9 mobile recharge card. When I win, I go get 250k for this 9 mobile promo.
The morning crossfire with my guest, Chief Tony Okocha, the Rivers rep on the NDDC board. I'll just touch on some more questions so we get his response as we attempt to wrap up. Hello. Okocha court is coming shortly. Zion says the man in your studio is peddling propaganda. I personally hosted a Thanksgiving celebration for the governor when he won at the Supreme Court. This person says... this is not the first time Rivers women are protesting naked in the streets of Port Harcourt. They also did the same in the Wike administration in 2019 against the Nigerian army. I stand to be corrected from Clever Sonny. Well, I can't exactly remember, but I know that it's not the first time we're having women protest in Rivers State. This one says, my question to your guest is, why is he against the government? Okay, I think we already had something like that nature from Facebook already, so I'll just let that be. This person here says the appointment of Tony Okocha as NDDC rep should be called off so he can focus on criticizing the Rivers State government. All right, we have less than a minute to get your response so that we wrap up. So you were making a point.
Yes, the point I was making is that you can only promote workers or even employ people when you have the funds. They were without. I don't know if I'm wrong. Now, the state governments can employ. The state government can promote because there is excess bread into the system. And I'm aware that Governor Wike in his time conducted...
former Governor Wike.
I say in his time.
Okay.
Conducted a promotion interview and all of this. The results just came out. On that, the government is a continuum. So when you say, oh, this... 20,000 housing nation PPP project that is just at the very embryonic stage, is that how to solve the problem of poverty?
But isn't that a step in the right direction to look at housing problems?
I'm not condemning it, but at this moment nobody should hype it. The reason why you don't have to do that is that you don't compare oranges with apples. What is the immediate right now is that there is hunger in the land. We need to see policies. We need to see programs that will take the people off the ground. See what is happening in Lagos. See what Niger State is doing. See what Borno is doing. See what Akwa Ibom. Listen, if you go to Akwa Ibom, you don't want to come back. It is an industrial hub of this country today.
All right, Chief. Unfortunately, time will not allow us to continue. Thank you very much for making our time to be with us. We know we can't have you every other time.
Somebody was talking about, you should know that recently, I don't know if you followed, NDDC distributed 24 trucks.
We will get all of that details. 47. The news is next, Chief. Thank you very much. Let's get on to the world news.
It's 9 o'clock.